tip of the day for you. So you have to say no sometimes. There is no way around saying no sometimes. However, there are ways to make your no sound a lot more like a yes, and that can be very valuable, especially when you have time to think about it. If you're on the phone, sometimes you're stuck, so there's a couple of habits that you can use in order to do better with being positive in a reply to a customer. However, when you have time to think about it, then you've got no excuse. You really have to come up with a yes answer. Here's a couple of examples. While performing, sometimes I have a kid come up to me, and let's say I'm done with the magic show and I made him a balloon, and he comes up and he says, "Hey, can you make a balloon animal for my friend Joey?" Okay, if I get into that, I'm going to be there till next Tuesday doing balloons, right? So some of the parents are looking at you, and you don't want to look at the kid and say, "No, I'm not getting into making them for extended family and all your friends." Okay, because this just sounds bad. All right, it's obvious, right? It's obvious, and it's not like any of the parents are going to be like, "What, you won't make them for the whole neighborhood?" They understand, but you did say no, and it just sits funny with them. So I use this technique on my own kids as well. And you'll find it gets a laugh from adults if they actually hear the whole conversation, and they'll start using it as well. But it really is a really nice way to say no. So the kid comes up to me and says, "Can I have a balloon from my friend Joey?" I'll say, "Oh, no, but thanks for asking." Now, any adult who didn't hear what the kid said, which is very likely because the kid's facing towards me and I'm facing out towards them, so any adult who didn't hear what the kid said but hears me say, "Oh no, but thanks for asking," kind of just in the back of their head assumes that the kid asked me if I wanted a glass of water or something. They don't realize I'm turning down this poor kid and causing him to turn to a life of crime, but it sounds really nice, okay? So have fun with that. That's a great way to reply. But there's also other ways to do it with customers. Now, you get to a show, and the customer says to you, "Oh, I know we have you scheduled for 3, but can you start at 3:30 instead?" Meanwhile, here you are. You're supposed to be at their house from 3 to 4, and you have to leave at 4, maybe 10 after 4 at the latest to get out of there and get to your next event. So you don't want to start having to explain that to them. "No, I can't start late, because if I start late, then I'm going to be late for the next party, and you wouldn't want that to happen to them, would you?" Okay, it's just all negative. So I like to say, "Yeah, sure." So they say, "Instead of 3 o'clock, can you start at 3:30? And I say, "Yeah, I can start anytime you want me to, but I have to leave by 10 after 4. Okay, and so the response is always like, oh. And don't you know, they start to realize that that means you're going to do a lot less time, and suddenly whatever was very urgent and had to be done at that particular moment can wait till later. So work on some of your own ideas and ways that you can say no but make it sound like a yes.